program. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. Introduce yourself, Tara.
We're rapid firing today, y'all. I'm Tara Priolo. I'm your resident I'm your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about, but you do the same. And it is, in fact, week 24 of the year. Y'all know we are past the halfway point. And this week's theme is love as strength. So we look forward to a strong week.
If you are here for the first time hearing our voices, just know that we are here to encourage, equip, and empower you. That's part of our mission and Love in Action Network. You can find out more about who we are and our programs at lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. Now listen up, folks. We're here every Sunday where we're talking about the grounded and rooted nature of love. The theme of today is love grounds me. And we're starting with the affirmation today. I am safe. I am held. I'm loved in my foundation. I'm safe. I'm held. I'm loved in my foundation. Welcome everybody to day one of Inner Peace and Resilience Week. I think this is probably the last week that we'll be in this particular area of time. We're going to begin today with the root chakra. The root chakra is the energy center of grounding, safety, and stability in the body. In a second, Tara's going to tell you about how the root chakra governs things. But our focus for today is how love can be an anchoring force, especially in uncertain times. And none of us can predict life. None of us can predict what's to come. But love allows you to find your focus in the middle of the chaos. If you can look for the love bloom on your rosy thorns, you're going to be okay. Can you help us?
So many rose bushes now. So many rose bushes. You have a rose bush. I have 2 rose bushes. The roses are great. Roses also have roots. It connects, folks. It connects. The root chakra governs our sense of safety, belonging, and survival. And apologies for my husband yelling at my dog, who's apparently doing something bad. Often we think of love as emotional or romantic. But love is also foundational, the steady, unconditional kind. Dr. Flo doesn't believe in unconditional love. But love is the foundation, right, of everything. I think like that is the whole reason why there's a network called Love in Action Network.
If there is a condition of mutual support, if there's a condition of care, if there is a condition of consistent encouragement, equipment, and empowerment, and all the time, talent, and treasure ways that are available to a person. If you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. If you ain't got the time, you ain't got the time. But there are people who don't have time or money who still encourage me and send me positive words and affirmation. That's the condition. The condition of my love is that I'm supported by you and that you are supported by me. So I can't do unconditional love because you can't punch me in my face and say I love you. You can't continuously turn off my lights and say I love you. You know, these things they shouldn't have damning conditions. It shouldn't be that deep, folks. But I think conditions are, some could call the conditions of my conditional love healthy boundary love. A high self-esteem love. I'm full, I'm safe, I'm enough kind of love. But that's just my quip with unconditional love. I think people a lot of people like to believe in unconditional love as this get out of jail free card for treating their family and friends like shit. And I don't think that y'all should have those kind of conditions. You shouldn't assume that just because a mother shouldn't assume it of a son and a son shouldn't assume it of its mother or any other arrangement that I can do whatever or say whatever and will have you in my life indefinitely. Who wants to set themselves up for that kind of pain? No matter if you drag me across this floor, I'll love you unconditionally. Absolutely not. I have the condition that you not put your hands on me in anger in our love. My love is very conditional. Yeah. Anyway, back to you.
Think of the love that shelters you. I'm not going to read the rest. I'm going to say that again. Think of the love that shelters you. That could be the earth, your ancestors, or the inner voice that says, I am enough. Think of a love that shelters you. When the world feels chaotic, root yourself in acts of love. Simple physical gestures like a meal, a walk, deep breaths, or reaching out to a loved one. I would say a trusted person instead of a loved one, because I think we can love people that we don't trust. And yeah.
Some people like to talk shit about you more than actually help you. Some people like to just know your business because they're nosy. Be very discerning. Later in the week, if I don't biff it like I biffed it last week, Fridays are all about third eye chakra day, and that's the part of us that uses our noggin to see through the bullshit and also see powerful possibilities in our lives. And I think it's important to just know who's truly for you, and also to know the people that you may be a bit adversarial with, as it relates to a relationship, but how to maintain stability and your personal power in that is also possible as long as you are discerning.
We have a silent reflection. Now, I would invite you all, wherever you're listening to this, do your reflection, but also write it down, especially if it's a positive one, or record it with your voice, whatever, so that you can come back to it later. But the prompt for today is, when have you felt grounded in love, even in adversity? That doesn't take me long to think of, because I feel like our whole world is in chaos and adversity right now, but I feel very loved. I feel very supported. I feel very held every day, like by Dr. Flo, by Poppy, by Love and Action community, by my IRL, people that are in and out of my house every day, by my friends that are here, by my community that is here. I feel very held. So that to me is a grounding presence. Like, I know that every day I get to wake up, and it might look a little different every day, like depending on what platform we're on, but I know I can go message Flo or message Poppy or message Angie or message Love and Action Network and feel held and feel grounded in that. Do you have an immediate answer? Or
I used to be not always, but 98% of the time, I used to be a person who walked around feeling like no one understood me. In fact, a huge pillar of my suicidal ideation from the beginning until the end was the idea that no one could relate to my specific life. Now, flash forward, I now teach and understand that we're all living the same emotions on the same emotions wheels. You want to come to some of our sessions on Clubhouse and some of our workshops where we do deep dives into emotions. We can go as deep and as into the weeds. We can be as meticulous as you want to be about emotions, because we love to talk about them here. So I used to not find commonality with people, and it caused me a lot of suffering, until I made the decision to find commonality with people so that I didn't have suffering. It serves me in this podcast with Tara right now to look for the synergy, to look for the compatibility, to look for the support, to look for the care, to look for the concern. We all have things that we can point our attention to, which of course our attention becomes our intention. But my attention and intention was so poorly placed for decades. It wasn't until I decided to accept that there are people in this life who want to help you. It's important that you ask for help and you don't stop asking for help until you get it. But you have to acknowledge that there are people in this life who want to understand you, want to support you, and want to know that you're having a nice day. And until I accepted the community, Tara went down her list, until I accepted that crew, that team, that camaraderie, that companionship, that kinship actually existed and was for me, I wasn't able to feel grounded in love. Now I'm making Tara's forthcoming New York Times bestselling novel choices. I'm making better choices now about how I feel about people around me. I had to make a choice. Is Tara helping me because she wants to feel like a capitalistic better friend than me, or is she just helping me because she wants to see me win? Right? We got to stop. This question talked about being grounded in love even in adversity. Sometimes the adversity is you. Sometimes the adversity is me. It's like all of this abundance, and I refuse to see the blessings in my life. When have I felt most grounded in love? When I took the opportunity to see the blessings in my life. The one staring at me from Minnesota with the butterfly earrings, the one that's mending, probably watching anime. If you do not choose, as we used to say back in the Baptist church, to count your blessings and to name them one by one, you can start taking these things like the taste and the smell that made one of our clubhouse friends cry. You can start taking that for granted. And you can become uprooted, because you don't want to see the people in your life that want to truly serve you and serve you in love. And you got to acknowledge some people really want you to have a nice day, and that's it. That's the beginning, middle, and end of it. You may have other people in your life that have counter narratives or a different approach, but all of us, I really do believe this. And Tara this morning thanked me in our Facebook group for being a symbol and a thimble of hope. She didn't say it that way, but sometimes it's a thimble some days. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I'm counting blessings. If 75 is the average life expectancy, time's a ticking. I can tell you in vivid detail what was going on in my life 30 years ago. And 30 years from now, I plan to do the same until we go the way of our ancestors and our grandmothers and our grandfathers and those who have prematurely gone before, because that could be us too. Great reflection and great opportunity to go into the breathwork exercises today, because if you are listening to us and you're stressed by life, well, you're leading this. Don't get comfy. You breathing like you weren't leading this. I was
You could just teeing it up.
I was saying because it's important, because what have we seen? We've seen Ben and Jerry's get ushered out the courtroom. We've seen lawmakers beg to get inside of facilities to see if humans are not being treated like cattle. We've seen LA on we're witnessing so much. So I was kind of being cheesy about leaning into the breath, but also don't we need it right now?
Take a breath. Just take a beat. Take a breath. Yeah. So let's breathe together, shall we? These are my favorite because they're like the Black liturgy ones, and she hasn't been posting a lot. Love to her. I hope she's okay. But she hasn't been posting a lot. So I listen. Yeah. So we're going to inhale and exhale, just whatever feels normal to you. And on the inhale, either speaking out loud or thinking in your mind or whatever that looks like for you, saying, I am safe. And on your exhale, I am loved. I'm going to do it silently, but take a breath in. I am safe. And exhale. I am loved. Breathing in. I am safe. And letting that air out. I am loved. One more time, breathing in. I am safe. And exhaling. I am loved. If you're having difficulty getting your breath low in your body, I invite you, if you are able, to lay on the floor. Lay on your floor, knees up. You can have a pillow under your head, knees bent. Place a book, not too big, not too heavy, on right underneath your sternum. That's the hard bone in your chest. And as you breathe in, try and lift that book. And if you're sitting upright, try to visualize that. I am safe. And on your exhale, watching that book come back in, I am loved. One more time, visualizing that book or actually seeing that book. It's moving out. I am safe. And exhaling, that book is coming back in. I am loved. Well, I certainly feel a little better. Take a minute out of your day. Yeah, let's just take this. Visualize red energy at the base of your spine, pulsing with strength. Remember what we said the theme was today, right? Or this week, love as strength. Pulsing with strength. And I do want to say something about the pulsing, because just notice that, like, when things are pulsing, there's a rest period in there. Like, you don't have to be out all the time. You can contract and rest. And in fact, you need to, in the same way that your lungs do, right? Your lungs expand and then they contract. And if they didn't contract, you wouldn't be able to take any more air in. Okay? Okay. And lastly, ground your feet. Feel the earth holding you. And if you're unable to feel the bottom half of your body or something like that, ground as deeply in your body as you can. That's sort of the point of that breath exercise of laying on the floor and using something to visualize it, is just to get you deeper into your body and grounding.
Remember, everybody, that today's affirmation is I am safe, I am held, I'm loved in my foundation. It was so wonderful during the breathing exercise today to hear the pitter-patter of the dog feet and the child cooing and the husband. All of this is the ASMR of our foundations. My giggling husband to the anime or whatever's on his phone, on his scrolling feed, these are the days of our lives, as we used to say on the shows. And to be loved in the foundation that we have is a profound gift. We are blessed to know that we are blessed. We're also actively calling for an end to the warfare and genocide happening in Gaza. We are calling for ceasefire. We're calling for a blocking of the bombs. We want the 2 million people who are being starved on the other side of the planet to get relief today. Today. And we will not stop asking until it happens. At this point, I do not know. This is not Deconstruction Junction, our other program. However, I'm looking to see where the Maldine is at present. And it looks like they are really they're like off the coast of
The latest post
Egypt.
that I just looked it up. I said, and it says a drone strike. I don't know if this is before or after, but a drone strike has hit the boat, but I don't know if that was the previous try or this one. The day 8 update is up. So we'll have to look into that as we get off.
25 minutes ago, Irish activist announces EU for shirking Gaza blockade response. An hour ago, Gaza aid boat activists promised to carry until the last minute. 1 hour ago, what is Maldine's latest location? I'm looking for the Garmin live track right now. Yeah, they're off the coast of Cairo. Not what Cairo's not on the coast, but they're off the coast of Egypt. Miles north of Cairo. With the trajectory right into Jerusalem and Haifa and all that. I'm not familiar with that part of the world, so if I misquoted y'all, just know that like we're watching, and this is crazy. And the fact that they name the US, like all of these activists name the US as the top problematic actor in all of this. The fact that we as American citizens are walking around to the grocery store and carrying on with life and not acting like we're not, being barbaric is very wild. But y'all tune in on Thursday this week. I'm sure we'll be talking about what unfolds today. And love your people, love your foundation. Thank you so much for holding space for love daily with us on Club. Beyond Substack. It is a thrill to be able to share this love. We're still calling for justice for Charles McNair and his soon release under local tyranny and disrespect. On behalf of Tara Priolo Studio, Popular 33, and all of us in this network, myself, Andre, and the Flow, we invite you to stay in your power, stay in your joy, stay loved and lovable. Release your voice. Now is the time. We will see y'all very, very soon. Stay